We have these notions about public speaking that we have to be somebody bigger and better and greater than ourselves, and that is just simply not true. There's this great story that I'd like to tell, and it's a story about a young warrior and her ninja master. One day, the young warrior is standing in front of her master, and her master says, "Today you're going to fight the greatest fight of all. You're going to go into battle with fear." And as she said those words, the doors open and in the room comes fear. And this young warrior, she can feel fear everywhere. She can smell him. She can feel in the nape of her neck. Her heart is racing, and she doesn't know what to do. So she does the one thing that she has been trained to do. And she stops and she bows. In the martial arts, when you bow, that's a sign of respect. Well, no one's ever bowed to fear. And so fear was kind of taken back. And he said, "Young warrior, since you were respectful enough to bow to me, I'm going to tell you the secret to battling fear." And he said, "You know, my weapons aren't weapons of swords." He said, "My weapon is this. When I come in, I'm all around you. You feel me inside you. It's your heart racing in your ears." And he said, and what I do, I lean in really close and I say, "Who do you think you are?" You're really not going to try that, are you? Are you sure you can pull that off? Fear's always going to talk to you. And it's not the fact that fear talks to you, it's that you listen and you do what fear says. So by not doing what fear said, she was able to conquer fear. Now, how does that apply to you? We all have to have a really good, healthy respect for fear. I mean, can you imagine your life? Just really, truly, try to imagine what your life would have been like had you not had some healthy respect for fear. I would bet you that the time that your brother, when the two of you were on top of a roof and he said, "Really, it's going to be soft when you jump into that snowbank," you would have just jumped. Because what the heck? You had no respect for fear. But the truth is that we have spent our time learning that if we listen to fear, we're probably going to do all right. But here's what happens. As we grow up and we grow older, fear goes from being something that is kind of like on our side, that we listen to from time to time. Fear goes from being right there. That little character moves right front and center. People are always asking me, you know, do you get nervous? And I have to tell you right now, flat out, yes. The most important aspect of public speaking is to simply bring yourself to the table. Bring your best part of your personality. The part of you that when you're hanging out with your friends and you're sitting back and you're laughing and you're telling stories, that part of you, that calm and comfortable, I like where I'm at and I like my friends and I want you to feel really comfortable with me. That part of you is the best part, and that's what you want to bring. And I think the hardest thing about bringing the best part of your personality is that we have this huge notion that public speaking is just something bigger than who we are. And it really isn't. It's simply sharing our thoughts with other people. I think the number one reason that people look for a person to help them in public speaking is to help them get organized. You know, people lose sleep every time they have to give a presentation because they're just not sure what they're going to say first, second, and third. People say to me all the time, well, if I know what I'm going to talk about, if I know my subject matter, I'm comfortable. And I don't think that that's it. I think it's when you know your structure, you become comfortable. And I think that helping people get organized in simple ways, really quick, simple ways, makes a huge difference when it comes to speaking in front of other people. It's interesting the kind of people who actually come and want to take a public speaking class, because I think that most people would think that it's the keynote presenter at some major conference, and those are the only people, and that's just not true. I have companies who hire me and they take everyone from the president, the CEO, all the way through, everyone that works in that company. And you may ask yourself, well, why would they do that? Not all those people are ever going to be speaking in public, and that's very true. But what happens is that public speaking is really a core communication skill. And when a person can start to become confident in that core skill, it automatically enhances their communication skills across the board. And organizations see that. They also see that when they bring groups of people together in their organization and they go through a public speaking class, what happens is that everybody then is kind of like on a level playing field. And they're all taking a risk, and they all need each other, and so it's like an incredible team building experience. They walk away, they know more about each other, and then they're stronger communicators. I just worked with an organization that did exactly what we said. They started with the president, the owner of the company, and she put every one of her people through, and I think that she's seeing differences in that. I really do. I love teaching public speaking, and I've taught a lot of different not just courses, but I've worked with a lot of organizations. I've put together all kinds of training programs for companies, and that's good, and I've liked it, but nothing compares to teaching public speaking. There is such a rush. There's such a thrill and a rush when I see someone who doesn't believe that they are going to have the confidence or the skill set to be able to speak in front of people, and then take them through a series of classes and have them at the end. You can see it in their eyes. You can just plain see it in their eyes. And you know that they get it. And for me, I live for that.